great book of Mark. Chapter 4. I want to talk to you just a few minutes about disciplining ourselves, that's a mouthful, to only the Word of God, to only what God says. Discipline. Bringing ourselves unto discipline, I'll say it that way, to just what God says. You see, if we can come to the place in our life to where we understand that it's about what God says, and that's fine, then problems will disappear in faith and come in order in faith. You really got to catch this morning. When we bring ourselves to discipline in what God says, it will bring things in our life in order immediately. Great book of Mark, chapter 4. Starting with verse 35, please. And the same day, when the eve was come, or evening was come, he said unto them, Let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him, even as he was in the ship, and there were also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. He was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that you have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Can we come to the place to where it is about what God says, and not what things look like? Why could the disciples not come to the place there where they took the Word of God as He spoke unto them when He got in the ship? He said, Let us pass over unto the other side. And immediately after they started out, what happened? A storm come. Oh, can I tell y'all? Don't think you're going to the other side without a storm. But can you listen to what He said? Can we discipline ourselves to only speak the things that the Master has to say? Because when we speak the things that the Master has to say, and we remember the things that He has to say, then we can understand that the ship cannot go down as long as the Master is on board. Now you've got to understand something. When the Master says, go do this, immediately there will come a storm to try to stop what He has to say. But you have to understand and know what He's saying. And if He said that, why do we think in the middle of it, well, bless God, I must not have heard Him right. Let's wake Him up and see if He's got anything else to say. Have you ever been to the place to where you say, undoubtedly I missed it. Undoubtedly, God, I didn't hear you right. Because all of a sudden you headed in that direction, but there was a great storm coming. And not only a storm, but a storm that got boisterous. It overtook. That word boisterous, which is in another one of the places of the four Gospels there, it means it overtook that situation. Have you ever been in the situation to where it seems like there is absolutely no way out and it is overtaking the boat itself, it said, is already full? Have you ever been to the place to where it seems like it's not going to happen? The Lord showed me this morning a year and a half ago, we said, a year and a half ago to 2 years, you prophesied what I told you. He said, man, there's been a storm happening. I said, but Lord, I still remember your word. I still remember what you said. And you've not abandoned the ship. Can I talk to you? Oh, there's been some things happen now. But He's not abandoned the ship. He said, let's go to the other side. Can we understand this morning? In our life, it's not about what happens in our life. It's about what He said. Do you realize that 80% of men and women that are called into the gospel to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, the statistics are 80% fall by the side? That's a huge number. Why? Because all of a sudden when the storm comes, they doubted what God said. All of a sudden they doubted it. And they said, undoubtedly I missed my calling because no doors has opened up, and it seems like everything that has happened has come against this, and it has stopped. So I must have missed it. Can I tell you something? When you hear the Word of God, when you hear God speak, It should be enough. If you have any doubts, wake him up. If he's still on board, wake him up. And if he is still on board, he will talk to you. And he'll calm the situation.